All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes. I hope everyone can hear and see me okay. I would like to welcome you to tonight's episode of the Mystery Movie Night podcast. I see some friends of ours are already here in the chat, including Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary, dropping a member chat for 11 months. Congrats on 5.05. Thank you very much. Onwards and upwards. This is the road to 5,100. Also in the chat, FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. And a friend of the channel, Enigma Severus, is in the house. Please like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know that we are on and that we are live. Mama Blu-ray is with us as well. Good to see you. All right. My fellow panelists are waiting patiently backstage, so let's bring them on. From Wilkie's Movies and Music, Corey.
Hey, Deleted. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
All right. And thank you. Sin's Corner. The woman who did not need to threaten me this week. I am ill enough as it is.
Yeah, that's right. No extra needed on my
Say hello to my roommate John, who is making sure that I am taking my proper medicine this week.
Okay, he's a good. He is standing over like he's on guard.
He's watching
me
like
that?
a
Arms
fucking
crossed and everything. All right.
Overwatch. Overwatch.
All right. And of course, the man who's probably wondering what the hell he's doing here. Paul.
Well, all right.
I saw that shirt backstage.
Yeah, it's a University of Texas one, but I'm like, I have to get it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All right.
All righty.
Cheers.
Well, yes, cheers indeed. Let me get started on this. Now, all right. I pulled a double whammy on myself over the weekend, which is probably what is causing me my upset, is the fact that I decided to do a double feature over the weekend.
Nice.
A man after my own heart.
Of Love Hurts and Captain America Brave New.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
You did.
I throw myself upon the mercy of the court.
Why did I think you said hard eyes?
I did nothing wrong. I'm sorry.
I'm
okay.
You did Brave New World Hurts.
Yeah, right. I keep getting Hard Eyes and Love Hurts mixed up. So when you said, I think I responded that like I liked it okay, but no, I was thinking about Hard Eyes. Poor soul to suffer through. Oh God.
I haven't seen either one of them, but from what I heard, that's like just grabbing onto that Band-Aid and ripping it off right away. Just doing it all.
Oh, and speaking of which, Love Hurts has just hit the high seas.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. I wouldn't even recommend. It's only like 70 minutes long, and I just...
That's too bad, because I really like the actor.
I like Short Round too.
When I
really
saw
like him. That's why I felt bad about disliking that stupid movie.
I actually was wanting to see it at first, because that was one of the trailers that was before one of our other mystery movies, Companion. That was
trailer
one of the...
looked great.
Yeah,
right?
It looked fun.
Yeah.
I thought it looked fun.
Agreed. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. I forgot about Love Hurts while I was watching it.
You forgot about it while you're watching it.
Where
am I?
It is literally in one
Who am I?
Oh my goodness, that movie, Lord.
Yeah, it's not the best. I do want to say hello to Chris C., the film nerd.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome. And Copla to Gorilla's Censored Thoughts.
Sashi's here.
Sashi is here, our man from the future.
Hey, Logical.
Logical Spark.
I feel like we need to add Corey to our masthead.
You might like drive people away. No.
We should at some point. No, stop.
Well, and I was in all seriousness, I know I'm like really good at the self,
Deprecation.
Deprecating? There you go.
Mhm.
I'm good with
Self-deprecating humor.
words once in
Yeah.
a while. But with me being in a smaller market and a smaller chain, it's bound to have. We've been pretty lucky with these couple that you've been nice enough to let me join in on, and I've had a lot of fun with it. But I know there's going to be quite a few that probably won't swing my way. So
Are
we'll
you-
just have to see.
You
Hey,
have one
gorillas.
for.
I'm excited to see you. Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry. Go ahead,
the-
Paul.
You're Corey. You're in for next Monday or this coming Monday, right?
Yes, I do have that one.
All
Yep,
right.
and I do.
Same.
I have a ticket purchased. So
Same.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
is yours rated R?
yes,
Okay, so is mine.
It's Mickey 17.
Well, but like
was-
Deleted said, the
Maybe.
timing is way
The
off.
timing is like way off.
Why? It's coming
Okay.
out the following week.
It doesn't
No,
al-
no.
it
On Friday.
doesn't always
The
follow
runtime.
that the runtime is way
Is
too
also
it's
off.
too
I
It's
kinda
too-
wondered
there's
about-
too much of a disparity.
yeah.
But didn't
Yeah.
one of you mention that there's that
Yes,
yours
but
is
not by-
IMAX?
Well, I think Deleted did, but they always lie about the time, but not by that huge of a.
What was the difference?
Isn't it 2+ hours?
It's like, yeah, because Mickey 17 is like 2 hours and 17 minutes, and the runtime that they're telling us on the website for the movie night is 1 hour and 58 minutes.
Yeah, it's not going to be Mickey 17.
what about
Which
Novocaine?
It has me
Because-
thinking Novocaine or Sinners.
Okay, I'd
Because
be down
that's
for
that
either
week-
one.
Yeah.
So I bought an advanced screener ticket to Novocaine for
Mhm.
next Saturday. So it'll be. I'm curious to see if that's what it is. So Paul, basically, the runtime that they show us is always more than it really ends up being. So the fact that Mickey
Mm.
17 has a runtime that's higher, I really do not think it's going to be that.
That sucks.
I guess
And
that
you-
makes sense. They don't want people to be mad if you say like, "Oh, it's going to be an hour and a half,"
Or
and it ends up being a 2-hour movie. You know, or something.
Sinners is only an hour and a half.
Okay.
I looked at and Novocaine is 1 hour 50.
And what did you say deleted that it said the time was?
I'm
An
gonna
hour
check
and
to see
40
what mine-
something?
What 158? I'm thinking it's Novocaine, guys.
Okay.
That's what
I,
I'm going with.
I would be happy with either one. You're probably right. That sounds that tracks with me.
I'm trying to see what mine says the runtime is. If it's the same as what
I'm curious.
Mm.
mine says,
Curious.
hour and 55 minutes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have.
It's a secret.
It is a secret. We do have 38 people watching us on
Oh, nice.
Phenomenal.
our
Welcome.
channels.
Yay.
and of course on
Welcome,
X.
dear viewers.
Hello, everybody.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let everybody in on what the movie was yesterday evening. And guess what? We were right. Right again.
You're all right. Mm-hmm.
Last Breath.
Yes.
Based on a true story. This is Woody Harrelson, Finn Cole, and Simu Liu.
Mhm.
And this is the story of divers off of Scotland. There's an incident during a storm. One of them is cut loose from his tether. His tether snaps on him, and he gets lost. And it becomes a rescue mission to locate him and bring him aboard before his oxygen runs out. All right, so
Whew.
who wants to go first?
Ha.
I was having trouble catching my breath during this movie.
Beer helps, like I said.
Well, and like I said, I have to drive home.
I know.
And, Beer has most beer has way too many carbs, especially the beer at the theaters.
Guinness is the way to go.
Way too many carbs. Way too many.
But it's only 140 calories.
I don't care about the calories. It's the carbohydrates. This movie, I was a little intrigued to watch it because I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast interview that he had with Woody
Oh, huh.
Harrelson a few days ago. And it was fascinating listen.
Hmm.
And they were talking a little bit about this. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. I wasn't hugely interested. But then when they started off the movie, and apparently I didn't know this, but this was based on a documentary that used to be on Netflix. I don't think it's there. It's not there anymore. But I really Okay, this movie, fantastic pacing to me. No fat on this film, and yet
Nope.
it felt like it
None.
was so much longer than it really was. I was getting I almost pulled my phone out and started to look up to find out what was going to happen to the characters. I was so tense, you guys. And then in the middle of it, I did message in our little message chain on Twitter. I was like, Jesus. I was getting so wound up. Like, it's one of those movies where if I was watching it at home, I would pause it to give myself a breath. I was getting so drawn into this.
I'll agree with that completely. Like, I got more wrapped up. I figured this was going to be the one as well. When we know we all kind of talked about it, but I was pretty confident that's what it was going to be. But I don't know if it's, and this is my lack of knowledge, but what do you say? Sound design or the score or the music?
Yes.
I think that took it to another level where I
very
was
much
getting pretty well,
When it was
pretty
cut
intense
off,
with it.
Yeah.
when
And
the
but
sound
that
was gone.
that was a perfect spot right there.
Mhm.
But
Right?
it was so loud in other parts. Not like saying like too loud, but like really getting the emotions up. But there is a moment, and whether we talk about it now or later, there's a moment where it goes away, and it was just perfect.
Black.
I
Yeah.
And
No, I actually.
I don't want to get too far ahead, but man, the music.
I want to agree with that. Like, I came out, I was like, this was a fantastic score, sound design. Definitely. You beat me to it, Corey.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't be. No. I'm glad you see it the same way I did.
But the music, the instruments that pull in it was just like the storm outside. That there would be these loud swells where it would just build up, and the tension would go. And
That was just really affecting the emotion and the lighting.
yes.
Like under the sea, so so obviously it's dark under there, and all he had was this flare.
Yeah.
And I really like how they filmed that.
Yeah. That was very good lighting. All the effects were really like top notch. And sorry, can I just say, just for the record, Woody Harrelson is a national treasure.
Indeed.
Like, what can you say bad about Woody Harrelson? He's such a mensch,
That seems like such a normal role for him too, where he's just kind of
right?
he's just like the meh.
Well, he provided all like the levity and
But he was caring and serious too.
The seriousness, there were some. So my daughter invented this word that I absolutely love. She was watching 1917 when she was down in Puerto Rico with her boyfriend, and she was texting me while she was watching it, and she was like, Jesus, this movie is so tenseful. And that's what this film was. This film was tenseful. And I could not believe how, despite its, so by the time credits started rolling, I recently found out about this, Sean. But yeah, it was me listening to Joe Rogan's interview with Woody Harrelson that really got me more interested in it. But something that I really appreciated was they do take their time to get to the point where this incident happens. And they also take that time to impart upon the audience the extreme danger and seriousness of what was being done.
Yeah.
All the care and how they had to live in that little tube for, I don't know. Was it 28 days or 28 hours?
28 days.
I thought that's what they said. I thought that's what
they were like
said.
on a 28-day tour, like a rotation. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's usually how it works. Again,
because it takes too long to get them in and out of the the decompression, isn't it? I mean,
that. So I kind of grew up around this. My dad was a petroleum engineer. I was never like on the actual like offshore oil rig, but he did walk me around like one of the big ass tanker. Only on top, like he didn't let me go down because I was little. I was like maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5. But the way at least the petroleum industry works, when you're on like offshore oil rigs, it's like you're there for 3 or 4 weeks, and then you come back home for 2 weeks. So you essentially like end up working like 2/3 of the year for like basically the same pay. You basically have like 1/3 of the year free.
Well, he did say he'd be gone about
Yeah,
Like,
so
did it say
I'm
like a
sure I'm
month?
sure I'm sure
Yeah.
it's similar to the divers that maintain those oil rigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought with this movie, or anyway, that they were saying that it'd be like a 28-day tour. So it was about a month that he wasn't going to see
Mhm.
his at the fiance.
Fiance, yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think Simu Liu is unfairly judged based on one shitty Marvel movie, and I think he was great in this role.
I will second. So Simu Liu has kind of gotten on my last nerve as of late.
Mm.
He's extraordinarily arrogant, and he has an attitude on Twitter. And I thought he was kind of mid in Shang-Chi. I like the movie, but I felt
Mhm.
like he was kind of overpowered by the other cast members around him.
Mhm.
I did like him in here. I thought he was going to add. Oh, and then the whole thing about the boba tea on the Shark Tank version up in Canada. I was just like,
I'm not
dude,
familiar.
you should watch it. He got all cultural appropriation-y, assholey to these people that were doing this boba tea thing, and it
Huh.
was a big it's like, please just don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like once he went Hollywood, so to speak,
Mm.
he had Shang-Chi and that was it. And it's like he thought he was this,
He thought he was the shit.
the biggest movie
That's what he
star.
thought.
He was
Yeah.
the shit, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is when he was on the TV series version of Taken, he was in the first season of that.
Mhm.
And I mean, he complete opposite on Twitter, because I had a number of back and forths with him and with the cast in general, that the cast was really super cool to their fans on Twitter during that first season. And then, and I say first season because it's one of those shows where they change showrunners and they shit canned everybody after season 1, except for like Jennifer Beals and the lead guy, and everybody else was gone. But he was like super cool with everybody, which and so when he started copping this attitude, it was like,
Mhm.
I am looking at a completely different guy now.
Yeah.
Mm.
But in this movie, he's actually really good. I give him this performance.
Yes.
He crushes it, and
Yeah.
they all do.
Yeah, he
They
was
all
good.
three do, because that movie hinges on the performances of those three guys in that diving bell,
Yes.
Mhm.
and the characters on the bridge, because that's who you have.
And I do want to call out Cliff Curtis.
Oh,
'cause
he's always good.
Anytime he shows up, I'm like, I love that guy. Who is he?
Okay, wait. Who is
The
this
captain.
guy?
The
Oh, the
captain.
captain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen him.
Oh, I know who he is. I just
yeah.
never remember his name for some reason.
What's really
I never even knew his name.
What's
I guess he
really
played Pablo
gonna
Escobar.
make your noodle is he is in The Insider
Mm.
with Al Pacino. That's him at the beginning. Is the shake. And I don't know how many
He's
people
been in
know
a
that,
ton of stuff.
because
Yeah.
he's under all that makeup. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's one of those actors, like, you never quite know where he's going to show up.
Yeah.
But he's always one of those dependable character actors where I go, I don't know about the rest of the movie, but the next few minutes is going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah, because I discovered him in the movie Sunshine with Cillian Murphy, like from way back when. The
Which is really, I enjoy that one a lot.
Yeah,
Sci-fi.
yeah.
I have that sitting back here. Yeah. Yep. Good.
It's a Danny Boyle movie, so
kind of like a forgotten Danny Boyle movie.
yeah. Well, yeah, I guess everybody wants to forget the beach.
Oh, I don't even think I've seen that.
Sunshine is a great. Okay, not to go off topic, but it's a great sci-fi movie.
Yeah, you
Go
should
ahead.
definitely. Yeah. This movie to me felt like a combination of the 2003 movie Open Water and Deepwater Horizon with Marky Mark.
I have not seen.
I was
God.
thinking
Second
Deepwater Horizon quite a bit. It has that.
Yeah.
It has that pacing to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has that look to it. It has the feel to it. Again, movies that, I mean, once you cut the credits off of Deepwater Horizon, it's like an hour and a half. It is a very fast paced movie. You got that very much the same the same pacing that this movie did. You
Yeah.
have that first half of setup, and then the second half where, you know, shit gets real. So,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and I think they did a great job with the pace. And I think
Yep.
I think you were saying it earlier. They kind of trimmed the fat from it. You know, it's like
Yep, there was no fat.
but it still felt like a longer movie than what it actually was,
Yes.
but in a good way, not
Yes,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
exactly, in a good way. And also, despite the fact that it's so short, there was, for me anyway, I felt a solid connection with these characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes if things are too short, you just don't really build that attachment, or it's just not done very well. And so I don't care, but I cared. I cared about these people.
Well, that's where they did take the time, is they developed the characters and the relationships, and there was like, you were feeling these true consequences about, you know, if this happens to this person or this one, or the guilt or the pain that some of these people are going through when they're
Yeah.
going through these situations where, I don't know, some movies, they just throw you right in there and you don't get any of that character build.
No,
And I
right.
think they did a good job.
Yep,
I cared.
agreed.
I cared
Yep.
about multiple characters through this. And I know you were talking about, and I apologize if I say it wrong, but is it Simu?
Simu
yeah.
Leo. I
Simu.
say Simu Leo, but
Simulu.
Simu Lu, whatever. Simu.
So
Yeah.
I was saying, like, I really liked him in here too. I didn't know of the other stuff with him, but when you were talking about him, I wanted to just throw in that I liked the character arc that he had.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
Kind of started off being a little bit assholey and
yeah,
and a
very
little
cold,
arrogant,
get the
but
job done, and
changed completely.
cut out the outside world.
Yep.
And then I think it just brought, he kind of like did that arc to the, you saw his carrying in his human side, and then taking the picture out of his two little girls, you
Yeah.
know, towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked all of the. I also liked that we saw what the people up top were dealing with.
Yeah.
Right.
That ship in the middle of the storm. So there was so much stuff going on,
Yeah.
and then how they had to, take manual control of the ship. It was risky, but they had to do it because they were trying to do whatever, all this stuff going on. And there was no character I disliked. There was no moment I hated. There was no, and also, of course, there was just nothing preachy in here. It's just telling this story, the survival story.
It
Yeah.
was just straightforward professionals doing a job under harsh circumstances
Yeah.
and getting the job done.
And-
And,
and I-
saving and it was very well done.
I was gonna say, not in a bad way. I mean, probably going back to the trim and the fat thing, but it was a simplified story. I mean, it's not complicated what
Yeah.
was going on, but it pulled me in way more than I've watched some movies lately that were being really complicated and trying to be really clever with a bunch of things. And I got pulled way more into this, but I think it was the character development. I had connections, or like cared about multiple people in this, up top and underwater. And they just, again, with the sound design and the music that they pumped into that, multiple times I was like, oh, I'm clenching my hands a little bit,
And,
Yeah.
like
and,
that.
Yeah.
and Hollywood respecting a working class job.
Yeah.
Right, and talking about how it's the most dangerous job. It's the
Yeah.
most dangerous job in the world. And the first thought that came to my mind was, oh, gee, I wonder how many feminists are scrambling for this job. Probably a big fat zero. Probably
Well,
none.
There could be there could be female divers. I don't know.
But
How
the-
many
I-
do you think are actively fighting and trying to be in that job? Like, probably
Yeah.
statistical zero, and we all know it. That's just
But-
him down there working in that place, and then how many times, like, how very aware of we were the fact that the minutes were ticking of him without oxygen.
okay,
Oh, yeah.
that threw me. That added to the
Right?
tension, where they had the little timer come up every
Yes.
once in a while,
Yeah,
like left
1 minute
of
without-
air, and
yeah.
then like I'm like, oh my god, like there's no way that I can understand why you said you almost wanted to pick your phone up and like, how did
I
this
did,
end?
and
Kind of
I
a
was
thing.
breathing like I was like,
Because there got to be a certain point. There
Feels
got to
so
be a certain
tight.
point where I was like, "There's no way. There's no way." And-
They explained that at the end.
Right,
It was
exactly.
like
No,
the
exactly.
right conditions, the right
But
pressure, the right
they think
temperature.
they don't
They
even
think.
know
They don't even know. Yeah.
for sure.
but there's things that happen around us all the time that are not easily explained
Defy
by.
explanation.
Yeah.
It's called God Wants You to Live.
Well, you know,
That's basically like in 2007, there was a skydiver that fell from 12,000 feet, broke nothing, minor scrapes. Okay, that's called God Wants You to Live.
Or the girl who was in the plane crash out somewhere down in, like, was it South America or something? And this was like, I don't know, several decades ago. Her plane, her seat got ripped out or something. And she was the only survivor. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then again, I wake up in the middle of the night and hit the corner of my 4-post bed, and I can't walk right for about 3 weeks. You know?
I
Right.
stubbed my
How,
toe.
where's the fairness in it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding.
Or I trip over my son's Lego box and break my big toe.
Yeah,
True
exactly.
story.
I do want to say hello to a few people who've joined us in the chat. Mandarino Adventures.
Maria, hello.
Hello.
That's unplugged.
Yeah.
And
Unplugged. Jay.
Shadow of the Raven. Of course, Dark Woods Presents, one of my channel members, and Adrian James.
Hey, Adrian.
All right. And Mr. Angel has also joined us. We are talking about the movie Last Breath.
Yes. Coming out
Okay.
this weekend. It's not a
Coming out this-
long watch. If you like true life stories, it's also pretty family friendly. I don't remember if there were. It's PG-13,
No
and I'm not
cursing.
It was pretty
sure
tame.
if there was
For one
if there
word.
was language. Okay.
It's
Not
PG-13
much.
for one word at the
Okay.
very end. This should be
Okay.
a PG.
Oh,
movie,
yeah. The true
Yeah.
clips. The true clips that
Yeah.
are shown there.
yeah.
When he goes, and
Oh, yes.
when he goes
okay.
back to
yeah, I know what
fix
you're
the
talking
job.
about.
which
Because
the
I was like, I
audience
don't know.
laughed pretty
Yes.
hard.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you need
and
that
I-
laugh. It works.
Yeah. But I would say, yeah, pretty family friendly. Other than, you know,
Well,
whether
just the intensity. of
and
it.
whether
Yeah.
you know whether
Yeah.
certain people are going to survive or not. You
Right.
know, in this
Yeah.
in a real life emergency.
Have you guys seen the
situation.
documentary? Has anyone in
I have
the
not.
audience seen the documentary?
No.
I want to
Which-
see it now.
This
I
was
almost
on
want to rent it.
Net-
It is you
Netflix
can
or
rent
Amazon?
it on.
It used to be on Netflix, but it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it came out in 2019. I'd never heard of it.
Sounds like I have to just start a Plex server for you guys.
And then
Okay, okay. I have one too, but not as many movies as you do.
My goal is to beat. So allegedly, Netflix's library is 17,000 movies. So my goal is to beat them.
To beat them? Oh,
just to have them all. Like I'm not going to watch them.
you
I
just
have-
want all the movies. You want all the things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was joking around like last week. I'm like, I have more movies and TV shows than there are hours left in my life to live. So
that's one way to look
That's
at it.
yeah.
yeah, that's a sobering way to think about it.
Right.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
But no, yeah, it's, oh gosh, I was gonna say something. Now I completely.
I mean,
got
this
off
was a morbid movie, so I took it there.
that. Oh, okay. Speaking of which, this was kind of one of my not so great experiences in the theater because talking about lighting effects, there was a family that for 2 adults and 2 children that the 4 of them could not get off their cell phones for more than like 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm just like,
no.
Corey, don't be that person.
Were they talking or just surfing?
They would get on just surfing, but it would most
It
of the
would
time
be
just
really
surfing,
bright.
but it was bright enough where it would just flash in the corner out the right side of my peripheral vision, and I'm like,
There was no other place for you to sit.
no, it was actually pretty full. But they put it in one of this theater.
Smaller.
It's a smaller theater that they have it, and the last couple of these, well, these are the only mystery movies I've gone to are the ones that I've been on streams with you guys with, and they've been pretty full. This one especially. So I think the lower rated ones are more
Because
so like this
people, yeah, they feel comfortable to bring out other members of the family.
So like this one, they had some younger kids with them.
Yeah.
But I don't know for a fact, but I almost want to say it's that same family. But there's a certain part of this movie where I think I hear this little girl saying, "Mom, is he gonna die? Mom,
Aw.
is he gonna die? And I don't hear her answering her, and I'm like, just tell her it'll be okay or something, you know? It's like,
Oh,
or don't worry,
poor
it's just
thing.
a movie,
Yeah.
sweetie, you know? And this
Yeah,
girl,
but it's
I
not. It's
yeah.
not because it was a real.
I
soldier.
know, but she doesn't know. I mean, sometimes you lie to make it better at the time, you know?
Yeah,
But I don't.
intense. This movie was definitely.
I mean, the entire time
intense.
I'm turning to my girlfriend. I'm like, "Yo, it really he's screwed, right? 14 minutes without oxygen.
Oh, that's what.
He's done, right?" And she's like,
Yeah, that's where I was sitting there at a point where I'm like, there's no possible way. And
Yeah.
but it's interesting later how they explain or try to
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
some of
Well,
the
I
things.
started to, obviously, not knowing the true story, I had no freaking idea what was going to happen. But I was trying to rationalize to myself. So if there's a miracle, and maybe it's because it's so cold, and the gases in his body are all
They're
not
like
the
all
normal
compressed.
levels now. So so maybe these things will work together. But I was just like,
I'm guessing it has something to do with like, all right, he runs out of oxygen, but he was breathing out. Like it must have just been like everything compressed around him to just like create a perfect
kind of like
system.
a vacuum
Okay.
seal.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And like it preserving him too because it's so
Right.
cold.
You're right.
But not to, I don't even know if we're going to get into this. But that, what bugged me, or not bugged me, I don't mean it that way, but like got me, that's a better way to say it. When
Thanks, Enigma.
they took the drone down and found
Oh
him.
yeah.
But then the part where they're just sitting there watching him and they see the involuntary
The
twitches.
muscle switches.
They didn't want to because like the claw thing was like
they
very
were trying to
sharp.
figure out, like, this was before they decided like what should we. They just
Yeah.
saw him, which was a clip from the very beginning because it
Yeah.
zooms in and you see this body lying on top of the thing,
Like
and it's like
twitching.
that was just like a horror movie.
I know, but
Like,
you even. I mean, I wouldn't even in
Can you
real
imagine
life
the
seeing somebody
desperation?
you care about or you know about or whatever you work with, even if you're just kind of, or even if you don't know the person, to be this is really happening in front of you on a screen.
the helplessness, like how
yeah.
far away they must have felt, because
Yeah.
it was like a distance of outer space.
Well,
They
and
were
that's what
hundreds
he
of feet
even.
away, but it's just.
But that's how he kind of explained it to his fiance too. I thought that
That's
was kind
right.
of
They
funny.
were
as how-
talking about that.
when she
Yeah.
was kind of, she goes, I get, rightfully so, gets nervous or anxious when he goes off on these trips because of the danger. She knows the dangers of this. And then I think his explanation one time was like, he's like, well, it's just like going into outer space, but I'm just underwater.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was like, and you think that
makes me
feel better, about this? But I thought it was just so funny because he was like trying to calm her down. She's like, that doesn't help.
no, they're both extreme environments.
That does not
would-
help.
mm-mm.
That if you're cut off, it's help is not right around the corner, kind of a thing.
Right. Which is kind of why I find zombie movies scary. Same thing. Same concept.
Well, they're scary because they're symbolic for a bunch of different true
True.
life fears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just listening to an episode about why are we so afraid of zombies. That's interesting timing.
Is that the 4K, Mr. Angel, or did you already have a copy of it beforehand? I'm curious to see how the 4K looks.
I actually have been trying to dive into, not to go off. I'm good at taking left turns really quick, but Paul Verhoeven, I've been trying to dive into a few more of his films that I is not familiar with, but I always loved RoboCop growing up, but I was told that there's a lot more to Verhoeven than RoboCop.
Oh, yeah.
So
Much more. I do want to say hello to someone else who's joined us in the chat. Let me scroll up here very quickly. Mike's DVD and
Hey,
Blu-ray
Mike.
collection. Good to see you. All right.
So I'll also say, I know, kind of going off topic kind of again, but these movie nights, these mystery movie nights, these have been the fullest theater, even that it's a smaller theater that they have them in. It's the fullest theaters that I've been in the past, like probably 2 years.
Well, that might be partly because of the fact that it's such a cheap movie ticket.
Yes, absolutely.
And you can take your entire family to it. And also, the excitement factor of being able to see something before the rest of the country.
Yeah, like a week or 2 weeks
yeah,
or whatever
exactly.
ahead of
When
time.
we first started these,
It's a
it was
little special.
like 2 or 3 weeks or so, but
Yeah.
before it was supposed to be out, and now we're routinely getting them the same week they release.
So ours before taxes and everything, it's like $5 to go
Mhm.
into it.
Yeah, it's
They
$5.
raised,
I
wait,
think.
whoa, they raised mine because it used to be 5 and now it's 8. But I mean, I have the AMC, whatever, the stubs, so it's free. But
Right,
they
same.
did raise the price here.
Well, you are in New York, so
You're in New York.
yeah.
I'm
I think
I'm
it's still
joking. I'm
5
totally
years.
No, I know.
joking.
Unfortunate. I can't
And
wait
I-
to get out of here.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
and I'm
Kinda
out in the
stuck.
sticks, so
You know what? I love the sticks. I would have
Oh,
a
that's
chicken
born
coop.
and raised.
You know, honestly, like there's nothing wrong with it. Getting fresh eggs, maybe have a cow for milk and cheese and butter. I'm
We
all about
used to be in the sticks. Now everybody's moved up towards us. It's like, go away. Go
That
away.
that happens sometimes when you're just in the direction that the expansion starts going out
Yeah.
to.
that.
Yeah.
A lot of farm ground gets bought up.
By Bill Gates and the Chinese.
That's another stream.
Foil
Oh,
hat.
your local theater is $10 for the mystery movie?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I wonder where he's at actually, because New York is 8.
I believe Indiana.
Indiana. Whoa.
What?
Oh. And
Horrible.
Unless he's talking about regular movie tickets.
Yeah,
'Cause
because the
I'm not
mystery
sure.
movie is cheaper. The whole
Yes,
point is to
it's
just like,
intentionally
hey, you
cheaper
don't
to
They
know.
put it on a low traffic night to try to get people
More seats
in.
and butts, yes.
Yep, and maybe some concession stand sales.
Yeah.
I paid more for a small bag of popcorn than I do for the
Yep.
ticket to go in there.
Well, my AMC is conveniently attached, literally attached. It's the same building as a supermarket. So what I do is I go in there and
Allegedly.
allegedly, and maybe have. I mean, I've been as brazen as to have like sushi and like sneaking it in this theater. But I'll get myself a bag of popcorn. Yesterday we got 40-ounce bottles of cans of Sapporo beer. Next week I want to try Foster's. I've never tried Foster's.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've had that. We always thought it was cool at the time because they always had the gigantic cans.
But I mean, I went to happy hour beforehand, and then I snuck some more beers in. And it was a good night.
I sneak stuff in.
You
I'll take coffee in. Sometimes a protein snack to eat with my coffee because they don't offer anything that I can eat, so I would never buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I like making my popcorn. Like I buy the kernels and I make it stovetop in like a big pot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like it that way because it just tastes way better. I can put however much salt I want.
Well, I like movie popcorn, but I just don't eat it anymore.
Well, right, yeah.
Movie theater popcorn, so good.
I tell you what, this is the first time I bought. So last night was the first time I bought movie theater popcorn. The first time, and they were like, "You want butter?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I don't know if
They do the oil.
I don't know if it was the regular amount or if they went whole hog on that thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, my hand was like, I was like, I felt like I got to go wash up before the movie started because I was eating some of it.
So when I was 17, I worked at a Regal Cinema, and I mean, it was a typical 17-year-old. Okay, one time I put 3 times the amount of salt into the popcorn batch, and people were like complaining. And then what I noticed some people were doing with the popcorn is, can you layer it? And I'm like, what? What do you mean?
Oh yeah, put some
Yeah.
in, then do it, and then put
Do
some
the butter.
in.
Yeah.
Like,
And not just have it all on top. Well, I actually thought about that with this one, but I had a small bag and I probably only ate like a fourth of it. I just was
wow.
like, because I got in there pretty early. I got there sooner than I thought I was going to. So I'm sitting there eating, and then I'm like sitting there. I'm like, do I go back out and wash my hand off at this point, or just the napkins are gonna do enough?
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy working the concession stand, he did not he hold back on the butter when he put that on there. So
Very generous.
oh
Sounds
gosh,
like
too generous.
So in New York, at least I don't know, in my theater, they give beer. beer and wine. Is that a thing
Yes.
where you guys are?
In mine, yeah. Mhm.
The one I'm at, they have a full bar.
Oh,
Like
And-
I can walk up. They have a bar area where you can like actually sit down and eat, like order a pizza
oh, wow,
or whatever.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
fancy.
Cinemark where I used to go to, they have like a whole menu and everything. We used
Mm.
to have like salads and
Yeah,
stuff like
but
that.
this one you can like
Mhm.
walk up and be like, "Hey, I want a double crown and Coke," and take it into the theater with you. And
Oh, wow, interesting.
but they charge you.
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
that's
oh,
where
because
they
that's how
yeah,
they
sure,
make
sure.
most of their money.
Of course,
concessions
yeah.
is the most money, but alcohol is one of the most highest margin items that
Mhm.
they'll have at those
Yeah.
things. So if you want to pay for it,
And
they'll
popcorn.
let you take it in.
Popcorn,
yeah, the
yeah.
popcorn.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because usually you would have to have gone into Charleston to get a setup that's that fancy. And usually the art house places that unfortunately aren't around so much anymore, like the Roxy, you could go in and you could buy a beer and sit down and watch the movie.
Mhm.
And you know, when you're
so-
watching a David Cronenberg movie while down in Coronas, have fun with that.
Yeah,
And
right, exactly.
you know, but yeah, I mean, the movie theaters around here now, they
Mm.
not so much with the perks.
Mm.
I do want to say hello to a couple of people who have again joined us a little bit late here. I know Big Al Presents is here.
Hey, big guy.
I forgot to say hello to earlier. I'm going to be, if all goes well, I'm going to be joining Al this Friday for Films with Friends, and we're going to be watching The Black Hole.
Oh, I haven't seen that
Sunday
forever.
night. Yeah,
I don't
Disney.
That
think I've
scared me as a
seen that
kid,
all the
but
way
I
through
liked
it.
it.
Oh,
a
I'm
lot.
sure it did.
The red robot, the spinners.
Maximilian.
Yes, I'm sorry. I knew I was going to blank on the name, but
Yeah.
but I always loved what was the little guy that's kind of reminds you of a floating R2D2,
Vincent.
Vincent.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I loved that as a kid. But man, I remember
Yes,
being
yeah.
really scared of the red robot. Sorry.
Good film.
No,
Good
it's-
film.
Happens.
Mr.
I don't-
Angel
Yeah, I don't-
said,
Say what?
Mr. Angel in the comment section said to come over to the Netherlands because they don't restrict what you can buy, what you can bring into the theater,
Oh.
Oh,
which is pretty awesome for
Yep.
our Dutch friends.
Oh, wow.
One crazy experience I had was
Except for the mayo on fries. Sorry, guys.
I did try that when I was in Belgium. They had that.
Oh, Belgium. You're right. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It
people
might
of
be
the
other
Netherlands.
places. It might be other places too. But in Belgium, man, they loaded it up. I felt like I was was that in Pulp Fiction? I was like, man,
Yeah.
they're drowning it in that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't a little bit. They piled it up
Yeah.
on there. But no, one crazy experience I had. I know going off topic here, but like we went to a larger city in Iowa to meet up with some people that I met on YouTube, and we went and saw Longlegs. But it was a restaurant, bar, theater, full theater, super nice. But they had like little tables in front of you and stuff, and you could order
Mhm.
full meals. And so
Was
you
that
get
a-
in there early and order a big. It was
Is
a
that
Flicks-
Alamo?
Alamo,
no,
yeah, I
but
was going to ask.
it was a Flicks Brew House, is what
It
they
sounds
call
like it sounds like it's got a
They probably
set up
modeled
like
it
Alamo,
off of
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But they would tell you there was like little dim lights underneath the tables, and you could write down an order and press a little button,
Yep.
and they'd come and refill your drink or bring you some more food. And I looked at the guy that'd been there quite a few times before, and I'm like, doesn't that distract people? And he's like, no, you don't understand. You will not
They're very
even know
stealthy.
they're coming up. Yeah. Well, apparently I wrote down a
Yeah.
drink, and I'm still watching the movie, and I hit the button, and I feel like a tapping on my knee, and there's like a lady like kneeled down there. She's like, dude, what's your order? And I'm like, oh, sorry, here. And I like give her the little piece of paper, and I'm like, you weren't kidding about them being sneaky
Yeah.
about that. And
You
I didn't
really
even
don't
notice
notice
it.
them too much.
But I think they even tier their theater seating even more, like, so somebody even like coming down in front of you, kind of hunched down, is really way underneath
Oh, okay.
the row behind you.
Yeah.
And so,
The
Yeah,
Alamo
that's pretty
here
cool.
isn't like that. Like you could definitely see. Like, yeah, they crouch down, but like it's fairly flat.
oh gosh, I
Over
didn't.
the one in
She's
Brooklyn.
We have
hitting my
slight
leg.
tiers, but you can tell, but they are so unobtrusive about
Yeah.
it. It really isn't that
Yeah.
distracting.
And sometimes like the Alamo is the only place you can see a movie. It's just not released anywhere else. Like I remember I wanted to bring my mom to see this Polish movie called EO that was nominated by
the donkey,
the
or
donkey,
the mule, or
the
donkey,
mule,
whatever.
it was like nominated for best foreign. And the Alamo was the only place we could go. And my mom's like super against eating in the theater. She's like, I don't want to hear anybody, making noise around me. I was like, okay, Mom, we don't have to eat in the theater.
And the next moment, you're like, yeah, I'll take some chicken fingers.
Exactly.
Those sound kind of good. But no, I'll say that one I had
love my mom.
Yeah, so much that you didn't take her to The Unbreakable Boy.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Conclave instead. I warned you. You specifically asked me, and I warned you.
Sin, I already told you. I learned my lesson, and the lesson is always listen to Sin.
Oh no!
Look, I thought we had this conversation already.
I'm just saying.
No, I know you were so right.
I was like, "What? Are you serious? You took her to see that?" What?
She was falling asleep most of the movie, but at the end, she was so pissed.
I told you.
Yeah. But she's like, I don't really want to go to the movies. Like, I just want to be at home. And I'm like, all right.
Well, I'll tell you what. With this one though, like circling back to Last Breath, I'm not saying greatest movie ever up for Academy Awards, but it hit way better than I thought it was. I was expecting disappointment, I think, when I went into this.
Really?
I don't know why. I just was
okay,
like,
I wasn't. I figured I would like it, okay, but I actually did not anticipate how hard it was going to hit me.
But I think that's similar. I just was starting off lower point than you, but it pulled harder than I thought, and I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw it. I just don't. I think if I would not have done this as a mystery movie, I would have waited for it to pop up on streaming.
Same.
Or even like this was not a movie on my radar to watch.
Yeah. I would be like, that looks okay. I'll wait till it's on Netflix or Max or something.
I don't typically gravitate towards true life stories.
Yeah.
Anyway. They don't hold much appeal because true life is so depressing enough as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one to me, I enjoyed the heck out of it.
I did
So
a lot more
do
than I thought I was
recommend
going to.
For sure. Yeah, same.
I didn't think I was going to hate it, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
I thought it was going to be more anxious than I was.
I was a little anxious in some parts.
I was anxious almost the whole time.
Like
Sin's like holding her breath, like
I needed
breathe.
somebody there. I was like,
there could be a correlation with my blood alcohol.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, there's that. That's right. I
You're just like,
about
I should have
that.
brought 240s.
Well, no. So like, I went out to dinner beforehand because there's a really awesome restaurant right around the corner, and
make some strong drinks there too. So.
Well, they have a ridiculous happy hour. I was just like, oh, you have like a charcuterie board for like $8. Imported beer for $5. I'm like, all right, load me up. Let's go.
Oh, what? I got to go see a movie still?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's this one. Like I said, this one was definitely way. I think it's going to happen this way with those, and you probably have already seen it with the mystery movies that you've done. But like, all of them have been more people in the theater than I've had for any others that I've gone to. But I think the lower the rating, the
fuller it's going to be.
Like you said, like that. Even though I was having a problem with the cell phone things, it was a couple with their 2 kids. They felt comfortable enough to bring their 2 younger kids to this. Because it was PG-13 and not R.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing that I was thinking about, because I was like, this is a pretty good movie, is that can we say like 2025 has had some good movies?
I've been saying that since January was over.
It's been a
because
few.
Well, so I have not. There's only been one stinker. And by stinker, I mean something that really annoyed me and made me wish I hadn't taken the time to watch it.
Love Hurts.
Love Hurts. That is the only one. Others have been, better or worse. Like I like some better, some not as much. But
And
I haven't hated anything that I've seen so far this year on the big screen, except for Love Hurts. That makes me very happy.
Yeah, and
One-
so and the fact that we got the news today that Kathleen Kennedy is probably retiring at the end of the year, I'm just like,
again, yeah.
can we? But
I'm not celebrating until she's gone.
It looks fairly official, but can we just say we won?
Don't count your chickens till
we
they're
didn't.
hatched.
The only-
Don't count
Okay,
the chickens
no.
till they're hatched.
Right, but like, let's say if it is true, no, we didn't, because she's leaving on a high note. There's nothing in production.
She wasn't fired.
Super.
She's
Yeah,
retiring.
she wasn't fired. Firing her butt would to me feel like, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
she should have been fired when Solo lost money, because like, how do
She
you
should have
lose
been fired
money?
long time ago.
How do you lose money on a Star Wars movie?
Well, quite easily.
They're finding out, I think.
Right?
I think they're figuring, or they're trying it.
But yeah,
I'll say, like, circling back with the theaters movies so far, 2025. I this was one of my, whether you want to say resolutions, whatever. I wanted to get back out the theater more. The last couple of years, I'm trying to like bump it up a little bit more. So I'm off to a good start so far.
Nice.
Up to 5 movies for me in the theater already. Through February is good. 3 of which it's been helped out by this mystery movie night. So
nice.
So you know something that's interesting? Last year, so a lot of the mystery movies that we have been shown have been movies that I wasn't really interested in or plan on seeing at all. And it has turned out that those movies were fantastic. Like, I've had such a great experience with the mystery movies. Like last year, 4 of them ended up on my top 10 list. 4.
nice.
Which ones from last year?
The Bike Riders, obviously, Sing Sing, My Old Ass, and dang it, I forgot the other one. September 5.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Which Sing Sing, I've been wanting to watch that one for a long time.
That's so
It was
good.
barely in the theater here. Like
It didn't last very long.
but I just saw end of March. It's going to be on Max.
Oh, finally, it's going to be streaming. 'Cause I
March
want my mom to see it.
21st, or it's towards the end of March. It's supposed to be on Max, and I have that. So I'm like, okay, I'll just hold off another month.
I
and can
really
watch
wish
it.
Coleman Domingo would. They're not going to give it to him, but I feel like that it would be just a well-deserved win.
Yeah, the Oscars are this Sunday.
Yeah, he's not going to. They won't give it to him.
I just hope something happens, and then it's just like that will be like the official death of Hollywood.
No, it won't.
I.e., somebody winning Best Actor or actress.
That's not going to happen because
Yeah,
they've been trying to distance themselves from that mess. But what's her face? Zoe's probably going to win because she's won everything else so far, pretty much. But I don't think we're going to see some huge surprises. A huge surprise would be Coleman Domingo winning for Sing Sing.
Yeah.
Something like that. That would be a huge surprise.
I'd like to see that.
I would love to see that.
So am I not a new movie fan because it's been ages since I've like cared anything about award?
Oh no, dude, no.
Because I'm like,
you're part of the majority.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
like,
don't-
I don't care.
I don't watch them at all. I like it when a movie that
I don't mean anything
personally
bad if
enjoy.
people
I
do
like
like
it when
them.
it's recognized, but I don't. Most of the movies that they nominate, they're just like, to me, they're just
Garbage.
Garbage.
Well, and
yes.
there's a bunch of them that are like either not in a theater near me to be able to see, or they're in there for like 3 days, and like those 3 days I can't get into the theater to see it. So, and I definitely, anybody watching this that loves watching the award shows and really get into it, I'm not disparaging that at all. So please don't take it that way. I just personally, I'm just like, I'll listen after the fact what won and what didn't win, but it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you have
watch it.
Do you have like the unlimited pass at your theater, Corey?
No. I wish that was the one that was my heartbreaker. We had a theater chain, so we're down. Wow, man, there's hardly any right now. It's just Marcus theaters, which they're good. Like but only one I'll go to because they actually have like the reclining chairs. I only like them because you got a lot more leg room. I'm not even that tall, and like the old theater seating, my knees are up against the seats in front of me, and somebody tall enough can block my view. But the other one, They got them stadium seating
Stacked,
a
yeah.
little bit more where nobody's in my line of sight and I can stretch my legs out. So I only have one I really can go to now, but we had another chain around here. It was Cinemark, I want to say. It got bought out by AMC. I got all excited because they were like tearing everything out. They're remodeling it. Like they were putting a bunch of money into this thing. And I'm like, I'm going to get that
So
pass
close.
that everybody, and then they shuttered it. And they just shut it down. There's right now that building sitting there with it's all boarded up.
Oh, I'm
And-
sorry, Corey.
Depressing, right?
Oh yeah. It was super depressing because I'm like, not only it's one less theater around and it's just like that continual decline. But also I heard so many people talking about that, the pass that they could get through AMC. And I'm like, I would totally not take advantage, but I would use that to its fullest.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, if I go to see more than just one movie per month, it's worth it.
Yep.
Oh shoot, you hit 2 and you're ahead of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Almost.
Yeah,
right?
'cause-
You know, if you go to regular times or
Yeah,
whatever,
because
and-
you know, my tickets are between, at the cheapest, I'd say $13, and then like upwards of like 24. So
Yeah.
I'm already paying $24 a month. I might as well go see the thing in IMAX for
Yeah.
you know.
For a small upcharge, usually
No,
on the
no.
IMAX stuff.
So my pass
Not even on the
doesn't-
IMAX stuff?
No.
Okay. So
Yeah.
in answer to Enigma's question, Regal. Regal has the best deal right now.
Mm.
Below that, AMC. AMC is pretty good. And then Cinemark has the worst, which is unfortunate because my Cinemark is my favorite theater. But they, for like $12, you get one free ticket. Are you kidding me? I don't care about 25% off concessions or the
Well-
fact that you know, they waive the convenience fee on the app, whatever. So with Regal, it was like 19. They've gone up to like 20 or 21 or something. Like, I don't care. I pay maybe like the taxes, 53 cents per ticket. Someone told me I'm not going to use the Regal app. I'm not going to sign up for that because they charge me to use the app. I'm like, 53 cents to watch a movie and you're complaining? What's wrong with you? I don't care if that keeps
have you seen
if that-
prices these days?
Right,
Yeah,
if-
seriously.
If that keeps it alive and that keeps it,
Yeah.
you know, being, I don't care. I would pay $1, whatever,
Well, that's
you know.
that's the major. You just said it. To keep it alive.
Yeah.
Because like there's a certain magic to going to the movies, man.
Absolutely.
Like I don't know. Like I remember my dad taking me to see Mortal Kombat in the theater. You know, my sister allegedly. I don't remember this because allegedly she took me to see some Santa Claus movie.
No, not all of them, Clue.
And
You don't have to have a subscription.
And so, like, apparently, I was being a stupid toddler, and I got her kicked out of the theater. But it's those kinds of stories, you know, like you.
Yeah. No
Live
clue. Not you can just buy a ticket per ticket basis, but there's some chains that have some subscriptions that truly, if you watch like 1 or 2 movies a month in the theater, you're
You're up.
saving a lot of money. And if you do more than that, you're just ahead of the game each one
Yep.
you do after that. That was the problem around me. So that AMC went away. Marcus theaters that we have around us, they did have a pass that was not quite as good as AMC, but they had something going, but they only offered it in like 2 states and it was not my state. So they got rid of that one and they brought out a new one, but it's really not that compelling because it's like $10 a month. You get 1 ticket for that, which if you go on a Tuesday night, they're half price. So it's like $7 at that point. And this is not the big nice theaters. They have different screens. And so they have some that they upcharge. So if you go to those, they give you an extra upcharge on top of that. Or if you go to the mystery theater. So if you hit Tuesday nights on the regular screens or the mystery movies, it's already less than that anyway. But then they say, okay, but you can get a companion ticket for $10 as well and 20% off of concessions. And I'm just like, it doesn't do anything for me. But if they do like a $20 or $25 a month and you could
Go unlimited.
or even even if they said it was 4 movies a month, I mean,
It would still,
Then it'd be worth it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 1 movie a week. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like the price difference, because I live in one of those states where I have to pay. And I'm like, well, sometimes I'll go to New York, sometimes I'll go to New Jersey. So I think my pass is $24 a month.
Wait.
But
So there's different tiers.
yeah,
I have the base one, but so far every location I've been in that's not my same location, there's been
They're
a
cool with
theater
it?
that participates in the base one that so like when I go up to Jersey and stay at my brother's house, the Regal's there.
they work.
There's one in particular that I use and it's fine. They charge a little extra on the, like like the fee that they charge when like the tax, I guess it's the tax.
Mhm, yeah.
Where I am, they charge me 53 cents. Up there, they charge me like $1.20 or 30 something. So that might just be the tax situation up
Yeah.
there in Jersey is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that might be why.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, take
Even-
care, Mr. Angel. Have a good night.
Cheers, Mr. Angel.
yeah, thanks for hanging out.
I do want to say hello also to Delon Movies
Hey, Del.
and hello to the Clue Studio.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah, well, that was one of the other benefits, I guess, of our little pass that on Marcus, which they get rid of the online convenience fee. But if you go to like three or maybe 4 movies in a year, they wipe out the convenience charge anyway for you for like the next year or so. Like they're like, okay, you're coming to the theater, we'll get rid of that to get you to come even more. So it really isn't. That's where I'm like, it's okay, but it's really not that great of a benefit to sign up for. But come on, AMC, I want something like that.
Maybe you should talk to your managers and see if there's plans for anything in the future for that.
Well, I think this is their new thing, but I kind of wonder. I want them to do well because I don't want the theaters to close. But
Yeah, I
at the
know.
same time, I want them to be like, oh, that didn't go as we planned. We got to offer a little bit
Yeah.
more, to get people
Yeah,
in. And that's the thing, though, is I don't think each individual movie ticket, they don't make a ton of money off it, but it's
no,
somebody
it's
buying
the
a
concessions.
yeah. So it's like, okay, do you want me to get in here 4 times a month and buy some Twizzlers and a couple Jack and Cokes to take to the theater with me, and you make way
Yeah.
more off of that than, so I don't know. I hope it turns around to some. I don't want them to do badly, but I hope it makes them kind of revamp it a little bit. Because I don't have any other theaters around me to go to, so I want them to succeed.
Not in that way.
Yeah.
Not if you're being a Karen.
Are you talking about me again, Sin? Come on.
No, I'm just responding.
I'm complaining about things, and you're like, don't be a Karen,
No,
Corey.
I was responding to Sasha. He's like, talk to the managers, and that like a Karen move.
May I
Depends how
speak to
you
your
talk
manager,
to the manager.
please? That's the last words I want to hear come out of my mouth.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? I got 400 followers on YouTube. I'll bury you.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
no, I would never throw that. But the first time I hear, can I speak to your manager out of my mouth, I'd be like, oh, never mind. I'm going to show myself out.
That's right. So I guess we all agree that this movie was pretty damn good.
Bring it back around. Good
I
job.
had a
Right,
feeling
right,
we
good
were
job,
all
Frank.
going to like this
Like
film.
it was just like, yeah, we're all good with this movie.
I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
I more like I said,
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to hate it, but I enjoyed it more than I thought
Yeah.
it was going to.
And I mean, I'm glad it was a mystery movie just because, I saw the trailer. I'm like, like it wasn't on my radar of movies to go to.
Yep, same.
So I'm glad it was that.
Well, and like I said too, I think I would have waited for it to pop up on streaming if I
Mhm.
hadn't seen
Yep.
it this way.
It's-
And I hate to say that, but sometimes I don't go out to the theater a ton, especially when we're talking about not having the passes where you can just go out as much as you want. But
Yeah.
I really pick and choose, and it's a little bit of a drive for me. I'm not saying like crazy, but like hour round trip kind of a thing. And so by the time you figure that all in, am I going to stand and watch something I haven't watched already that's on my shelf back here or on a streaming service I'm already paying for? I probably would have waited, but I'm glad it happened this way and I got to see it on the big screen because man, the sound system is
Yeah.
way better than what I got at home. So
I'm glad I can tell my mom it was good because I've been recommending movies to her to watch to
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
broaden her horizons instead of just watching conspiracy theory stuff, because that's what she's all wrapped up in. But so
There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be judgmental.
okay, look, listen, Linda. Sometimes people can go a little overboard.
Sure.
Mom, I love you,
Everything,
but
everything in moderation.
we even got her a book for Christmas, my conspiracy theory notebook. It's like-
Amazing, amazing.
but I'd like recommending.
William.
You know, I've been able to say good things to her about the Unbreakable Boy,
Mhm.
and which I expected. Yeah, Linda, please listen. As I suspected, the critical reviews for Unbreakable Boy are in the rotten territory
Okay.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, and I don't pay much creed to that. Sorry, not to cut you
I
off,
had a
but,
feeling, but there's
but do you
no
see
review-
the audience score though?
No, but I'm pretty sure it's very high.
Oh, like,
Probably in the 90s, right?
yes.
Yeah, I had a feel. See, I knew that was
Yes.
going to happen, and I
Wow.
Or at least the
honestly-
last time I
Yeah.
checked.
I
last
don't
time.
know, like what.
So that's just the thing, though. If the audience score is very high and the reviewer score is very low, that means that the movie doesn't have any messaging and just
This
focuses
is what I
on
was,
story.
but also Zachary Levi.
Mm,
Yeah, because
Zachary Levi is on some people's shit list now.
why?
So,
he is
He's-
1conservative and he confesses to
well, he's more like
Christian or relig-
libertarian-ish, and he's
Well,
open
but
about
yeah,
his
not-
faith, you know,
yeah.
and he's not towing the line, the narrative
I
that's
don't-
popular in Hollywood. So,
But I don't think
Mm.
he's heavy-handed with it though either.
No,
but
he's
he,
not-
But
he's
but he
not a-
doesn't like tiptoe. Like he's not apologetic
just-
about his
but the
beliefs.
problem is he doesn't have he's not drinking the Kool-Aid.
no,
and-
he's not,
and
and
towing the
he's
party
not
line.
assholey about it at
No.
all, and he's very
Mm.
kind to people who are very cruel to him.
I was
on
gonna say
Twitter.
he's very
Yeah.
even keel and like soft spoken.
is.
I feel.
Yeah.
I
don't
listened
know.
to his and I don't typically listen to like Megyn Kelly, but he was on Megyn Kelly, so I listened to it because I had seen the movie, and it was a pretty interesting. Yeah, I want to see Chuck.
Oh, Chuck
I
is
heard-
great.
Yeah, I heard it's
Chuck
good.
is great.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a fun show. I don't
But
remember
anyway,
if I
I'm-
finished it or not.
I'm glad that this movie is something I can recommend to my mom. I got her to watch Better Man.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm coming back around to Better Man,
Oh,
y'all. This is
I'm-
my fifth. This is my fifth viewing, and it's still number one. It's still on up there. It makes me cry every single freaking time.
But that's
Such a fantastic movie.
another one that I want to watch really bad. But it literally was. Well, okay, I might
On
be
the big
exaggerating, but it was like
screen?
3 days in our theaters. And
I
could
believe you
not see
because
it.
it flopped. It flopped
It flopped
hard.
hard.
I went back to see it one more time,
Hmm.
but after that one time, it was gone. I would have gone again because listening to those songs on the big screen, oof,
Mm.
so
No,
good.
I want to see that one for sure. But I just for giggles, I was pulling it up. I don't pay much attention to Rotten Tomatoes, but just we were talking about it. The critic score was 43%,
Yep.
and the popcorn meter, which is like the regular people going out and watch it, is 97%.
There.
It doesn't.
That
that
surprise
should
me.
show you.
Doesn't
I mean, come
surprise
on.
me. I had
43
a
to
feeling,
97.
Right, I had a feeling there were no critical reviews being
So, like,
released
half.
week of, and I'm like, okay, I have a
less than
feeling
half.
this is going to be low.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they also haven't been showing, unless something has changed since yesterday, but they haven't been showing critical reviews for this movie either. There's no messaging in this movie.
Same
yeah,
with
no reviews. I bet it's going to be rotten scored, and the audience.
Same
will
with
love it.
my dead friend Zoe.
There's no
It's-
scores out for it?
No, there wasn't the last
Really?
time I looked. Let me see.
That's another one I did not get. I know you were talking about it, but that was another one I did not
That was
have it.
It's out. The scores are high for that.
Okay, because I need to write my review for that. Yeah, 94%. Yeah, I agree. That movie was phenomenal. Yeah, and I really like Companion too.
Same.
I did too. I had a good time with it, and
Companion's on my list.
I've had
top
people
10.
tell me I'm stupid, and I'm like, oh, that's all right. That's
Oh,
all.
I loved it. I
I'm
loved
stupid,
Companion.
but not necessarily because
No,
of the
you're
movies
not.
I
You're not
watch.
stupid. I had someone left me a really ugly comment about my rant against Love Hurts, and it was funny. It was like one of those comments that YouTube sequestered automatically, and I had no idea it was there until recently.
Snap.
It was
Okay.
funny.
One I
But
did
yeah,
end
I
up
get
going.
those too. So
when I know, like I said, left turns a lot with me, so I apologize. But we were talking about
good.
Unbreakable Boy and Zachary Levi. So another one I meant to watch for a long time, and after I had such a good time with Unbreakable Boy, I went back and watched American Underdog, which I had not seen before.
Yeah, I hadn't watched that either.
He's the lead actor in that.
Yes.
And it's the same company, I think, that it got released through. That
Okay.
Oh wow.
Kingdom something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same, because I was like, oh, I recognize that logo from seeing Unbreakable Boy. But I always meant to go see that because he went, Kurt Warner, that's the college I graduated from.
Oh,
He's from Iowa, and so the underdog story. But I had a really good time with it too. But I could see where some people, if they had issues with Unbreakable Boy, with some of the faith that is.
But it wasn't even
weaved in.
heavy-handed with it.
No,
That's the
and I don't
thing.
think
It
American
wasn't
Underdog
too
is not.
sappy.
No, American Underdog is not either. But they're just openly talking about like this is something I believe in, But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not beating you over the head with it at all. So I appreciate that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Good night to Shadow of the Raven.
Take care, Carl.
And hello and welcome to That's Life, but not as we know it. First time I'm
William.
seeing you. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Hello. Subscribe to all of us, please.
Please.
we got to get Corey over 1,000. Come on.
Well, we got a lot of work to do. So
Don't worry. I am going to keep on blasting your channel out.
one at a time. One more.
I mean, that's how we got Kyle over 1,000. So
Totally agree, Enigma. Yeah. I've been very happy with 2025 so far.
That's what and I hate saying this, like even the one that was like lower for me, I still didn't like hate it. I
Same.
didn't like I didn't come out like,
Same.
oh gosh, I totally hate it. It was so I'll just say Wolfman.
I had a feeling you were going to say Wolfman. I enjoyed Wolfman.
So I'm not
I
saying
enjoyed Flight
hated
Risk. Some people hated those.
I have not seen that. I haven't seen that one yet.
I thought it was fine.
Flight Risk is all right.
It's not
It's
going to be
mid.
movie of the year for me, but here's what I've said in my reviews before. I consider it a win if a movie doesn't profoundly disappoint me or piss me off. And those movies didn't do that. Yes, I could see some of the flaws in it. I didn't care. I had fun.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for me, it's I'm a man of simple tastes, like plot and character development. Please no messaging, and if you do messaging, at least do it well.
Well, their messaging can be done right.
Yeah, it can be.
Like the movie American Fiction. The messaging in there was freaking fantastic.
Fantastic. I agree.
So,
Yeah,
it can be done.
It can be done. It just needs to be done well. I.e.
Agreed.
Quality. Quality. That's all I'm looking for. Quality.
You're picky, Paul. Come on. You're so picky.
How dare
Putting
you?
all these unrealistic expectations out on the movies you watch. Like, come on.
Plot, character
Plot,
development.
character,
What
quality.
is that?
What are these things you speak of, Paul?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think this was Flight
I get to be a
Risk.
smart ass
Only
once in a
one
while.
scene that was Hollywoodish. I think a nonsense.
Oh,
it was
the
unnecessary
plane
movie, but
going
at the
through the
same
snow
time-
and like maintaining its altitude. Sure.
Yeah, but I tell you, I had other issues beyond that. I am not a Flight Risk fan at all.
Yeah, some people
Um,
didn't like it at all.
Didn't work for me at all. Really, with me, again, so far it's been kind of a 50-50 year, but the movies that I'm not recommending, I don't entirely hate all of them. Because I have, of course, to recommend, to wait for streaming, and then just don't even bother. And honestly, so far this year, there have only been 3 movies that I would put in the don't bother list. And the
Which
rest are either good. Flight Risk, Captain America, and Love Hurts.
I
Yeah,
haven't
okay.
seen Captain America, so and I have no
Ah,
plans to,
you're
so-
not missing much.
I know. I decided a long time ago I didn't want to see it, so
Yeah.
I'm
My-
glad I haven't.
My only 2025 so far. So I'm keeping a list now too to really track what I see in the theater. Like I said, I want to try to up my numbers in the theater. But it was Wolfman, Companion, Hard Eyes, Unbreakable Boy, and then now Last Breath. And
Are you on Criticless?
Letterboxd.
Okay. All right.
What,
I'm on both.
You have to let me know what that one. I've never done that one before.
I think I posted a link to it
You did,
a couple
yeah.
weeks back for you. But it's just
I'm really good about
criticless.com.
missing things, Sin. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I'll check that out. No, I don't think I've ever used that one.
What is Criticless?
It's like the equivalent of Letterboxd.
Okay. Can you get
Except-
paid?
No.
Well, I don't get paid anyway, so I can.
Yeah, no. But it's what I like about Criticless is it's a place where it doesn't feel hostile if you don't like certain things.
Yeah.
Whereas on Letterboxd, people can be assholes.
Luckily,
So,
I've not run into that, but I don't put too many
yeah.
lengthy reviews out there. But I have some good friends that do, and they're like, "I'm done with this," and I'm like, "What happened?" And I see the comments. I'm like, "Oh shoot!" But then they come back. But yeah, I've seen some pretty how dare you not enjoy this movie? Or
Is interesting is that I personally haven't had any issues on Letterboxd, but I know people who have. And I've seen some comments on there where I would be like, yeah, it's a little unnecessary there, pal. Or something where it does. Yeah. The only site where I had problems was Stardust.
I
don't know that
heard
one.
of that one, yeah.
And there's probably a reason for that. And it started out pretty fun. You could go on, you could make these little 45-second long clips. If you go back, if I don't know if anybody here follows Double Toasted at all.
Oh yeah, I think I do sub to them.
They used to do this. They may still do it. I don't know. They used to have a segment. Where they would show these Stardust videos, and they put a couple of mine on. They put my Halloween 2018 is up on their channel, and one other one.
Have to go find that.
But Stardust was the one where that really got seriously political, and they went after a guy because he made like a pro 2A statement during a review of what movie. I don't know why that would come up, but he did. And they also went after the guy because he liked Song of the South. For what it was at its time.
Yeah.
It was a good film for what it was. And that's all he said. That's how he put it.
But there's a lot of like revision going on.
It's a good film. And not only did they go after him, there were people claiming I was the one who spearheaded going after him.
Oh,
and that's
right.
what I
sounds
said.
like high school crap.
Yeah.
And I deleted everything, which I kind of wish I hadn't, but I quit just cold turkey that day. Bye. Click.
You kind of think after you get past a certain age, some of the high school clicky stuff goes away, but unfortunately it doesn't.
Absolutely doesn't.
Sometimes
it doesn't.
Sometimes it intensifies.
Yeah, it's because it's people.
You should see New York City running clubs. Holy cow! It is worse than high school, and this person slept with this person, and this person slept with this person, and
okay,
this person's cheating on their husband, and well, all right, peace, I'm out. I was just here to make friends and maybe get some exercise.
I was trying to exercise
Right?
and get some motivation
just
to do so.
Yeah, basically, after college, how the hell do you make friends? So,
that is a weird thing
Okay.
too.
I think deleted has to.
Oh, yeah,
use that
sure.
Pretty soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do.
I have to edit
start.
my Kathleen Kennedy video.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kathleen Kennedy is retiring for the 500th time video. Yes.
I think it's for real.
We'll find out soon.
We'll see.
I hope so, but I'm not going to
All right.
celebrate.
So, Last Breath, I think we can all agree we're recommending it.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
Safe to take your
Yeah,
family
man.
to.
Yeah.
Yep. Very straightforward,
Alright.
good, tight storytelling.
Good. Some
And-
heart to it. I mean, there's some.
Yeah, it really
I had
does.
some genuine feelings for the characters that were in that. So, I'm not saying greatest movie ever, but man, I just shut your brain. I'm not. I hate saying that, but like, don't be overcritical. That's a better way to say it.
Yeah,
Don't be
and-
overcritical and just
I didn't
enjoy
find
what
much
it
to
brings.
criticize. There was
Yeah.
one thing, because I did film a review last night when I got home. There was one thing, just one thing.
Hmm.
And that was, and it's not even fair to call this really a con, because it was information that the viewer has to know. But in real life, it felt like, would they really need to be explaining these things to the people that are working with them and know how everything works?
Hmm.
But it was exposition for us, the audience.
Yeah.
And they don't,
That's-
and the way they do it makes sense.
It,
you know,
it was
like
fine.
I
It
said,
wasn't, yeah.
They do it in the same way, like we were saying that a Deepwater Horizon does it. You know,
Yeah.
it's
And it doesn't
It-
treat
it's very
the
much
audience
more
as like dumb.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like here's what it is. Like it's just a quick like snippet explanation of what's up, and it doesn't over explain or under explain. I think it's just right.
But I thought it was interesting though that they'd spend some time on the separation that those people feel before they go into
Mhm.
like they spent a little time. Like somebody might be like, why are they like showing that pod so much or whatever?
Mhm.
And them like, no, you're realizing these three guys for the next 28 days this is their life.
Shut up in this thing. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
their life. And,
Ooh, and that was
they're-
a small little thing too.
yeah, right. So I think they did a good amount of time to just express like there's some sacrifices going on there. They're providing for their families and doing a very difficult, dangerous job, but that there's things they're dealing with when they're doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, I recommend it. 2 thumbs
Same.
up.
Same.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I'll
So-
do it too. Yeah.
Ah, Sin. Don't give in to the peer pressure.
I usually do, so I just didn't this time because I was like reading comments.
Mm.
And Nuga, I saw your comment, so thank you very much for the support. Sorry, I was trying to find where I was going to reply, but thank you for the sub. I saw you throw a comment out there.
All right. So we'll go one time around the horn. Corey, what do you have coming up?
This Thursday, I have a friend coming on, Physical Media Man. Got him on this Thursday night. We're going to be talking about his YouTube channel, his collecting movies, just kind of hanging out. Me being my aimless, chattering self, we'll hang out and talk for a while. Other than that, things are kind of up in the air, so we'll have to see. So if you don't mind some aimless talk about some fun movies and pop culture, music, things like that, yeah, come over and hang out with me as well. So, and again, Deleted and everybody, I appreciate you so much for letting me hang out and do this. And you can take me off the big screen.
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you, Corey.
I just get very
I know.
paranoid having my
I
face
know.
really big.
It's
like
like a half a second too long.
and I like can't make eye
Stop.
contact with myself. I look away. Like, don't look at me. Yeah, right. Deleted.
Oh boy. Okay. The only thing I have coming up this week, I'm going to try to get my Last Breath review up, and also maybe a video review for Las Tres Sisters, which was a movie that Paulie asked if I would write a review for him on Latino Slant, and I'm still thinking about that movie, so I think I might film a review for that. But that's the only thing this week.
Right on.
All right.
Paul.
Oh, hello. Oh, I thought we were going to go back to the group first and then me. Yeah, so I just filmed a quick little video I made for Kathleen Kennedy's retirement, sort of a little bit of a send-off. I still need to do my Dead Friend Zoe review. I really want to do the Gorge review, And obviously, I have to probably review this guy that we just saw. So look out for the Kathleen Kennedy video tonight, and then hopefully I can get any one of the other 3 out on Friday. And that's what I've got going on.
All right. And that brings it on over to me. I'm going to be joining Outlaw Bill for Action Theater, and we are going to be watching Hard Rain from 1998.
Fantastic movie.
Fun movie, yeah. Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater, and Minnie Driver, and Randy Quaid. Then stay tuned later on that night for coming attractions, where you'll find out what I'll be doing for the rest of the week, including Films with Friends, where I will be joining Big Al Presents, and we'll be watching The Black Hole from 1979, the Disney film. And of course, stay tuned to my community page, find out what's coming up, including I have coming up soon the 100th episode of Unscripted. And stay tuned, because I might be doing a post-Oscars autopsy. So
yes.
All right. So while I have everybody here, any and the chat, you can answer this too. Best Picture, who do you think's going to win?
I forget all the ones that are up, y'all.
I have to, and I haven't seen a ton of them.
I think Anora or The Substance.
Let's see. Hold on. So
The only one I think I've seen is Anora and Dune 2. Is that up for it best?
I could see Conclave.
Yeah, I would love to see Dune. Honestly, I think that was the best movie this year. But it's probably going to be Wicked.
Really? You think Wicked's going to take it for best
yeah,
movie?
I haven't seen it, but everybody's raving about it. My girlfriend's all over it. So yeah, I think Wicked's going to win. I think everybody wants. I think that's the favorite.
Unfortunately, the only two I've seen is Dune Part 2 and Anora. But between those, just with what Sin was saying with Substance, I would probably, if I was gonna guess between those two, I'd probably say Anora. But
I haven't seen Anora.
I haven't either, and I have no interest in seeing it. But it's been winning stuff, which was kind of surprise-y to people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wondered. But then also The Substance, and Demi is probably going to definitely take it for The Substance.
Yeah.
Anora, I liked it. This is where I'm going to sound like an old man. Like, it leaned into the sex part of it more than I thought they were going to. And it was like one of those movies that when you're watching it, I'm like, this is when somebody's going to freaking walk into the room when I'm watching it. Like, there was like so many scenes where I'm like, okay, seriously, this is when somebody's going to walk through the room and be like, what the hell are you watching for?
Right. It always happens.
Yeah, no, I know. So I felt like really nervous watching movie. But Dune Part 2, actually, I really enjoyed that one. I liked
that movie was fantastic. For me, like of those listed that I have seen, I think my two favorite ones were Dune 2 and A Complete Unknown.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, my roommate in college was a huge Bob Dylan fan, so that's how I got into it. And I thought that I'm not that big of a fan of Timothée Chalamet, but I think he did a great job.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Andy. All right. And
I think it'll be Wicked.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be Anora.
We'll see. Okay.
I think it's going to be Anora.
It's definitely not going to be Emilia Perez. It's not going to be that.
No. As much as they wanted to give that movie Best Picture, they can't do it.
Well,
now.
here some Academy members were like, they didn't like it, they didn't want to vote. Well, then why the hell did you nominate it?
Right.
Yeah.
I felt pressured. Well, enough with this nonsense. Come on.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen of that movie looks absolutely terrible.
It is It is.
I just watched the critical drinker review, and then I'm good. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
I told Drinker he should have watched Better Man instead of torturing himself with films that he knows he's not going to like. But he told me he didn't want to watch a movie about Robbie Williams. Okay, well,
I
all
truly
right.
want to watch that one though, because a couple other friends that I've met on YouTube that are across the pond, so you say like Scotland and UK, like that Robbie Williams was even a bigger thing there. They're like, even if you don't
Oh, he's
like him,
huge.
yeah,
He's
but they're
huge.
like, even if you don't like him, they're like, it's a great story and a great movie, and you would not expect it with the monkey
Nope,
thing
but it
in there.
works.
But yeah,
It
that's what
works.
they said too, and so I was like, I need to check that out.
Oh
Now, since the
gosh,
first time we walked in, I'm watching this.
Arturo is.
That's the alarm for
Yeah.
for
And that's the
deleted.
closing bell, people.
Arturo has entered the room and Tifa hates him. I'm going to mute until we're backstage.
Well, let's start wrapping it up anyway. I want to thank, of course, Corey, Sin, and Paul for joining me here.
Thank you.
Kyle is being held hostage in an undisclosed location, and I will let him out shortly. I'll make the call.
Extraordinary rendition,
Kyle,
they call it.
Yes. Kyle, we missed you. Next week, hopefully, we'll see. All right. So I want to thank everybody who was here in the chat. A lot of new names for me anyway. So I hope that you all enjoyed the show. Please subscribe to everyone on the panel if you have not yet done so. And if you have, make sure that you are still subscribed, because YouTube will unsubscribe you without your permission. All right. So any final words before we go?
No, that was good.
No? Okay. All right. We had 53 people watching us at one point. So thank you all. And thanks to everybody on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. And to everybody in the live chat, thank you very much. It was a lot of fun, and I wish we could have gotten to everything that everybody was saying in the chat, because you guys were jumping. All right,
Thanks,
so
chat.
from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy, because this is how we win. Those of you on my channel will be redirected to my next stream, which is going to be starting in a few minutes, live from Sparkwood in 21. It is a Twin Peaks retrospective series, and we are going to be talking about the Mark Frost book, The Secret History of Twin Peaks. So, good night. And, we will be back for next week's movie night. See you then. Okay.